So the first one, you guys had set a list of districts that y'all expected to be at that career fair. Do you have a list of districts that are going to likely be at this virtual one? And my second question is can you give us a little bit more of a description as to like how this is going to be? Like, am I going to be chatting like one-on-one with a district, or is this going to be like where it's just me and like 10 districts? Like, how is this going to work?
Yeah, that's a great question. So we actually have that all covered. I don't know, Bethany, if you want to talk about the districts, or do we want to have Tish talk a little bit more about the logistics of the fair, and then we can into your plan.
Yeah, let's go ahead and have Tish. Tish, I'm going to make you the host, and I'm hoping that I'm going to do this right. And I'm going to turn it over to you to make you the host, because I know you're going to want to share your screen. So hopefully that worked.
It says Tish is the host now. So Amy, we will get to both of those questions.
Perfect, thank you. Hi, Amy, thank you for your question. To answer your first question regarding the actual recruiters for this event, that would be a better question for Bethany. So she'll be able to really attest to the recruiters for this event, how many are going to be participating, how many will be available on the chat feature. Regarding your second question, I'm going to walk you through a step-by-step training in a few minutes here, letting you know how to utilize this platform and how to utilize the chat feature. And I think that'll answer some of your questions. And again, during this walkthrough, feel free to stop me at any time if you have any questions or concerns. Are there any other questions before we get started? All right, sounds great. All right, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you guys right now, and feel free to stop me if you have any questions or concerns. Alrighty, so everyone should be able to see my screen share at the moment. If you can't for some reason, please let me know. Okay, great. So what you're viewing now is a landing page for the virtual hiring event that's coming up. And as you'll notice here on the right side, there are two dates here. We have March 25th, which is coming up next week. And this hiring event is going to be from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. Central Standard Time. We also have another date here, April 16th, 12 p.m. to 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Okay, and so with this landing page here, this is essentially where you will register, pre-register for the event. Okay, so this is where you're going to be able to stand out, complete a registration form and stand out amongst the recruiters for this event. So the first thing you're going to do from this page is click the register now button. Okay, so here you're going to fill out a registration form, which is going to ask you some basic questions. I'm going to go ahead and fill this out as if I'm a student. So regarding the question here, if you're planning to attend the March 25th job fair only select the 25th. If you're planning to attend only the April 16th, please only select the 16th. If you're planning to attend both, please select both. If you're not sure, just select one of them. You can always update your profile at a later date and time to change whether you end up selecting, whether you attended both or just one. Okay, and also please remember to check the box here to accept the terms and conditions. Okay, great. If you've done your profile successfully, you'll get the message here to let you know that it was done successfully. So the very next thing you want to do from here is to click View Your Profile. Great. So from here, you'll notice all of your information that you filled out on your registration form, and just double check to make sure things are correct. Your name is spelled correct, your email address, your phone number, your CWID, the job fair you plan to attend, your major, and your classification. Make sure this information is correct. If you find that there's an error, you can easily click edit and update any information that you see here. Okay. So the first thing I would encourage you to do is to add your CV or your resume. And to do so, you're going to click the button here that says Upload CV. This can be uploaded as a PDF or a Word document. So very quickly from your computer, what you're going to do is go ahead to your computer, grab your resume from whatever files you have on your computer. Again, it can be in a PDF or a Word document. You'll notice that you've added your resume correctly if it says Remove CV. The next thing you want to do, and this is optional, you can add your photo. Again, click the Add Photo button, go to your computer, grab the image you like to use. And from here, the goal is to get this picture directly centered within the box here. So you have the option to make the image a little bit smaller or a little bit bigger, but the goal is to get the image within the box there. However much of the image you want to use, go ahead and get it within the box. Okay. So now you've completed your profile. Again, double check to make sure that everything is correct here. Double check that your resume has been uploaded. And again, guys, it can be either a Word document or a PDF. I would also recommend that the picture that you upload is in JPEG format. That's very important. The platform will not recognize a PNG or any other file format. Please make sure that the image that you upload is a JPEG format. Okay. So now that your profile has been updated, you've added your resume, everything's complete on this end. What you're going to want to do is the day that the event is live, you're going to use the same URL that you use to actually register for your event to attend the event. So the URL that you see here, TAMUCHIRE, HireLine at EasyVirtualFairs.com, you're going to use the same URL that you see here to access the live event. That's all you need. The day that the fair is live, you'll be able to log into the platform and engage with recruiters. Any questions so far?
I think all that seems pretty straightforward. My questions are probably after this, like more about engaging with the recruiters.
Okay, great. If there are no questions, I'm going to go ahead and proceed. Again, feel free to stop me if you have any questions or concerns. All right, so now you're here, this is March 25th, this is the day that the event is live. If you scroll down, you'll notice that you have several booths here. And what you're going to do is you can, as a candidate, the first thing you want to do is log in. So you can log in one of two ways. You can log in here in the top right corner by clicking log in. Or you can click in the chat feature here and log in here. Either way, you'll be able to access the platform. So again, the first way is you can click here at the very top right corner, or when you access the page here, the chat box will automatically pop up. You can add your email address and your password that you register with. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and log in just so you guys can see how the platform will look. All right. So the first thing you'll notice is that you have your picture here. You can go ahead and click My Profile just to make sure, again, triple check that your profile information looks good. You have your picture, you have your resume here. You can even click View Document to download this information just to make sure it's the correct resume that you have, you wanted to upload. You can also look at your personal information here, your name, double check to make sure all that information is correct. So within your profile, you're gonna notice a few different things. My Info will always bring you directly to your profile. Offers is going to show you all the jobs that you're interested in. So these are all the jobs that you've actually clicked into, and it helps you keep a list of everything that you've showed an interest in. Visited booths is going to accumulate a list of all the booths that you visited. So if you clicked into a booth, it's going to keep a record of all the booths that you've clicked in. And so you're able to have that for future reference. Okay, so from here, you're probably wondering, okay, how can I get back to the fair? There's 2 ways to get back to the fair. You can click the menu button here in the top left corner and click home. Or you can click at the very top here. The very top of the page here will bring you back to the fair. Okay, and so a few ways you can interact with the booth. Like again, if you scroll down here, you'll notice all the booths are here. You can go from booth to booth. You can click on any booth you desire. So for me, I'm looking to, ask a career developer a question. I can go ahead and engage with the buttons that you see here. So company profile is going to give you information about a particular booth. They'll also give you a contact person. So this contact person here, we have Bethany. You'll have the phone number. You'll also have access to the email address for this particular person engaged with this booth. You can click the mailbox button here to send a message directly to this person. And when they respond, they'll be able to respond directly to your email. So for example, if you have a Gmail account or a Yahoo account, when they respond to you from here, you'll receive that message directly to your email. Offers is where you can find the job. So if you click the button here, you'll be able to see and engage with the jobs that are available. Read a description of the job and take note of some of the qualifications, some of the skills and things that are required for a particular job. You'll also be able to apply directly to this job here. And so what will happen is, as a candidate, you'll be able to apply directly to the job. Our platform will take you out of our platform and onto the Handshake website. And from here, you can apply directly to the position that's available. Other buttons of the booth include social networks. So here, you're able to engage with the company's social networks or the school's social network page. Again, by clicking on this, it'll redirect you outside of our platform. If you scroll down here to written chat, you'll notice this is a schedule. So this is where the recruiter is letting the candidate know, hey, between 9:30 and 12 or 1, you'll be able to speak with us on the chat feature. Other features of the booth, you'll notice they'll have the logo here in the very front of the desk. There'll also be 2 additional images here. None of the information that you see here is clickable. You want to focus on the information that is in the booth itself. So you have the buttons here, again, the company profile, which we've already spoke about, contact person here directly. Again, the jobs that they're offering will be found here. And here you're able to, again, read a description about the job and apply directly. And if for some reason you're not seeing this recruiter on the actual chat feature, you can schedule a meeting with them, okay? So here you can type in a nice note like, hello, I'm interested in meeting with you at so-and-so time, or can we get on a Skype call outside of the chat feature? Whatever you want to message the recruiter, you can do so here. Basically, this is how you're just requesting specific time to meet with them, okay? Okay. So here you can just simply close this. The recruiter will be notified that you requested a meeting with them. And again, you can also engage with their social networks and also download any information they want to share. So for example, this particular recruiter, they have some information they want to share with you. It may be a one-pager, maybe a flyer, maybe a business card. Again, if you're interested, go ahead and download this information. This is information that they want to share with you as a candidate. You also have links. So these are links to this company's or this organization's website. Feel free to engage with the links here. Again, they will take you outside of our platform. The last two buttons here are just the banners and posters. This is just so you can see a bigger view of the image that's within the booth. Any questions so far?
I have a question.
Sure.
Okay, so like when we request a meeting, you are meaning, so I find the recruiter that the district that I'm interested in, or the recruiter. and I request a meeting during the fair time, is that what we're talking about here? I mean,
this is at their convenience. So whether they are available to speak with you on the chat feature at a very specific time, or if they're able to speak with you outside of the platform, whether it's on a phone call, whether it's through Zoom, whether it's through Skype. But for the most part, the recruiters would be on the chat. So if they're on the chat, you're able to be proactive, engage with any of the recruiters who are active on the chat at any given time. However, if you're within this booth here and you notice that the person organizing this booth, Mr. Hayes, is not available in the chat feature, you can request a meeting with them. He will be notified to reach out to you at a later date and time. You can also send him a direct message.
okay, and so on that day, when you're saying chat, are you meaning like what we're doing right now, or are you meaning written chat?
A written chat. So our platform is not at all engaged with a video chat platform. So the chat will be all 100% written chat the day of the event.
Okay. Thank you.
My pleasure. Anyone else? Let's see, we have a few questions here in the chat. So for Amy, just to clarify your question, so there's different features of the chat. I'm gonna go ahead and get into the chat feature now for you. Go ahead and refresh my screen here. Okay. I'm gonna give this chat area just a second to activate for us here. So the chat has several features. There's a way for you to chat publicly with the recruiters. So public chat for each booth. So for example, Snyder ISD, you can chat into a public booth with Snyder ISD and engage with the recruiter amongst other students. So other students can ask, general questions in the public booth. And you also have an area where you can speak privately one-on-one with the recruiter or with the recruiters for this particular booth. And I'm gonna go ahead and show you that in just a second. While I get this up for you guys, feel free to ask me any questions. I'm gonna go ahead and stop my share just until I get the chat up and running for you guys. Feel free to ask me any questions about the platform or about the chat feature itself.
And I'll just jump in here real quick. One thing that's really important to remember when you're doing these chats is that it's just like when you're texting someone, but you really want to make sure that you're using complete sentences, because this isn't you texting your friend or your sporty sister or whomever. It's just you, it's you talking to a potential employer. So you want to talk to them just like you would if you were talking to them in person. So make sure you take that into consideration when you're chatting with them. Nicole, I just saw your question. Are you able to view the booths currently? Since we were on such a tight turnaround, we don't have all the booths set up, but we will have them set up prior to the event. What I want you to do is focus on that list of everyone, all those districts we sent out, and find your districts that you'd like to speak with. And there will be a way for you to leave your resume or chat with the majority of those districts. But again, some of them will be closed. So I want to be very upfront that some of them may not be there, but we will make it possible for you to at least get your resume in front of that district beforehand.
And one other thing I would say too is it's really important for students to commit to going to both the March 25th and the April 16th if you're able, because that will maximize how many districts you're able to talk to. Some are still on their extended spring break or even their regular spring break next week. And so some of those recruiters have planned to go to the April 16th. So I would just make sure that you're planning on going to both as you're able.
And Dr. Ravel, your question, yes, you can definitely attend as an observer. You can chat with the recruiters from the different organizations that are going to be there as well. That's no problem. Each recruiting organization has up to 10 people that they can log in on their chats. So there will be multiple recruiters for some of these districts. So if they're talking to a student and you want to chat with them, you're not going to be taking away from them talking with a student. And yes, we will be able to share what students attended and what employers were logged in as well, if that answers your question.
Awesome. All right, guys, so now that I have the chat up and running for you, so what you're going to notice here are a few different things here. You have a private chat and you have a public chat. So when you're logged in as a visitor, you're going to see yourself underneath the right side here on the visitors list. You're going to see all the recruiters for the event underneath the recruiter side. All right, and so you can just go back and forth here. Again, your primary focus is the recruiters here on the left side. All right, and so as a visitor, you can be proactive. Click on the recruiter's name and engage in conversation with them. Okay, so you'll be able to engage privately, one-on-one, and they'll be able to respond back to you right away.
If they're smart, they're not panicking in front of people. Sorry, I have it up on 2 different screens because I was trying to be present. Give me 1 second.
And so also what you're able to do is engage publicly in the public chat. So if you click the public chat of a particular booth, you can speak one-on-one in the public chat, not one-on-one, I'm sorry. You can speak amongst your students and also with the recruiter. So for example, if we click on the career development booth here, the day that the fair is live, there'll be a button here that says chat, okay? All you have to do is click the chat button here. This is going to automatically take you into the public chat area for this particular booth, okay? And so the recruiter itself can, respond to everyone in the chat in the public area and engage in conversation. Okay, so the recruiters on their end, they'll get a notification every time a student enters into the public area, and then so they'll be engaged with you here. All right, you can also engage with multiple recruiters through multiple public chats. So for example, if you go into the next booth here, and if they're logged in, the chat button will be here. Okay, that's one indicator that they're actually logged in as a recruiter and participating in the chat. The button will appear here that says chat. So you'll be able to click on the chat button and again automatically enter into a public area where you're chatting amongst other candidates and also with the recruiter for this particular booth. Now you may notice there may be 1 or 2 recruiters per each booth, and that's totally fine. All right. Another way to engage with the recruiter, again, like I said, is privately. Okay, so you can click on the recruiter's list, click on the recruiter's name, and engage in a private chat. So one-on-one, you can speak to the recruiter. Okay. All right. And another good thing about the platform is that you can share information with the recruiter. Okay, so if you're in a one-on-one conversation with Bethany, for example, and for some reason you don't have your resume attached to your profile, Bethany can say, hey, please upload your resume to the chat. That way I can view it really quickly. At the bottom here, you'll notice a piece of paper here, the plus sign. Go ahead and click that button there. It's going to take you to your files. You're able to grab information you want to share with the recruiter. So your resumes, again, can be shared in a Word document or PDF. You can even share a picture this way. But again, most likely you'll be asked to upload a resume here or something important that you may have missed inside your profile. Okay, and what will happen is it'll automatically attach to the conversation there. All right, any other questions about the chat feature? Any questions about the public chat? Any questions about the private chat?
Tish, there's a question that says, what's an example of something that I would want to ask / say in a public chat? Would you like to answer that?
Yeah, so I mean, that's a very broad question, but you can ask something in general like how many positions are available? I mean, but that's something you can find yourself within clicking offers for each position. You can see, you know, how many jobs they're posting, but you may want to know something more specific, right? There's 3 positions here, but you may want to know how many teacher positions are available, how many bilingual teachers are available, right? That's not written here in plain sight. So that's a good question to ask in the public chat. That way you're not only asking for yourself, but you're asking in general, you know, for everyone that's in this particular booth.
And I think one thing too, when I was a recruiter and I would do these, when I would do these online fairs, is that was a way for me to sort of put up an announcement like, hey, welcome, thank you for stopping by. And like, if they're going to have a number of different recruiters on there, it might be a place for them to list and say, if you want to speak with the middle school recruiter, our middle school principal is here, please connect with Jane. If you want to connect with our high school principal, his name is John. And that gives you the opportunity, they might be able to put information like that in that box. And so that's kind of what the public chat would be. The bulk of probably what you're going to do is want to do that private chat, but that's some ways that that public chat would be used. Tish, there's another question. Will each chat have a save feature or a text of the chat we need in case we need to recall the discussion? It's a great question. Thank you, Jordan.
Yes, that's a very good question. So you're able to do one-on-one within your conversations that you're having privately. So what you're able to do is click the 3 dots here in the top right corner and click export chat. So this will allow you to download the conversation that you're having with the recruiter. Now, if for some reason you're within this conversation and you close this chat, you hit the X for some reason, you're not gonna be able to recall that conversation, okay? So it's very important to remember, if it's important to you, you wanna right away go ahead and hit export, and that'll download that conversation for you to your computer.
Jordan, did that answer your question? You can just type it in the chat if you have any follow-up. Yes, and you should be able to screenshot it too.
Yeah, sure. So you can screenshot your conversations from your phone or directly from your computer, however you're attending. I will advise though, if you are attending the platform from your cell phone, I would highly recommend that you upload your resume to the platform from a desktop computer or from a laptop computer.
And I would actually even go a step further than that to really encourage you guys to do this on a computer as opposed to a cell phone, just because you want to sit down and be in a stable place and be ready to really have conversations with these recruiters, just like you would have if the fair could have taken place in person.
I agree with you 100%. I couldn't agree with you more on that, especially for just the experience of a virtual hiring event. It's new for a lot of people. And so I think to get the most of this experience, it would be best to be at a computer, at a desk, nice and comfortable, and utilizing the platform that way. Again, it's totally up to you, but I think especially for your first time, you'll really enjoy the experience being at a computer and attending the platform that way.
Tish, could you show them now that I logged in and you visited some booths, can you log back in and show them where they go to see the booths that they visited? Where that shows up?
Absolutely. So as a candidate, if you go ahead and click my profile, let me go ahead and log out here. Give me 1 second. I go ahead and log in here as a candidate, and I click into my profile. So now that you've engaged with the booths, you're able to click on visited booths and see all the booths that you visited. Okay, and they'll showcase here for you. And very easily from this area here, you're able to click into the button and go directly to that booth.
And then each booth that you visit, the employer will get a record of everyone who visited their booth. So if I visited, or Tish visited Pine Tree ISD's booth, Pine Tree ISD will get a list of everyone who went into their booth and viewed their opportunities. So that's why it's so important that you put that that resume on your profile, because you will be able to go in, they will be able to see that you express some interest in learning more about their district. So we have about 15-ish minutes left. Does anybody have any questions? This is your chance to ask those while Tish is here with us. So please don't be afraid to ask those questions. You guys have had some great questions already. What else can we answer for you? We want to make sure you're totally comfortable with this. And I promise there will be more than 4 booths in there come next Wednesday. We have a very long Excel list. It's just. So if you want to put those questions in the chat, or if you would like to go into that in there and email Shanna any questions, we can definitely follow up with you with any answers to that, and to those questions for sure, if you aren't wanting to ask them today. And we will have this available for anyone who was not able to attend. So we'll leave this webinar open for about 10 more minutes. And if you could just please, I don't think we've gotten everyone's campus-wide. I know there won't be, there isn't any campus, not everyone, I'm sorry, I can't talk apparently. And I'm sure not everyone has put their campus-wide ID into the chat. If you could please do that so we can track everyone who attended and make sure we have an accurate representation of who was here learning today. We so appreciate it. And Warren, yes, the virtual fair, the login and setup process will be the same for the other virtual fairs that we have coming up. So on March 25th and April 16th, if you sign in and you're going to be attending both and you say both fairs, you will not have to re-sign up. You will just go to you will sign in on the day of the fair. And Courtney, I'll send out the link after it downloads when we're done here.
Bethany, will we be posting this video for students to rewatch? Courtney had a question. She got kicked out of the video earlier. How can we rewatch? We
can share the link for sure. We'll send it. We'll send it out to. Shanna will send the link out. And if you just go to the event on Handshake, we will add the viewing link on the event in Handshake there for you if you don't have it via email.
Jordan wanted to know, do you expect most of the districts on the list will participate? I think you addressed that, but I do not recall.
Yes, right now we have, we just made this decision 2 days ago, but in 2 days we have about 30 districts of the 84 that were originally registered that have confirmed that they will be in attendance. I'm still waiting on hearing back from a few between now and next Wednesday, but again, a lot of these districts are in kind of a tough panic mode. But what we're going to do is in our career development booth, if there is a district that we have not heard from that we know we normally would have heard from, we will have their district listed as an offer, as a job within our career development booth. And you can go and submit your resume to that job offer. And then we will make sure that we get that group of resumes to that recruiter directly if they're unable to attend or log on to the virtual fair for one reason or another. But the ones that have replied back are very, very excited and are really pumped to talk to you guys. I know it's not a perfect solution, but we're really excited to be able to provide this opportunity for you. And thank you so much for your commitment to your education and your willingness to be flexible in this very uncertain time.
Bethany, would you mind talking for just a minute about, in your past life as a recruiter, what are some things that students can do, especially in a virtual way, to engage with the recruiters in the chat, and maybe some things that can help them stand out or know if a district is them?
Yeah, absolutely. I think one of the biggest things is that drove me crazy as a recruiter chatting on these things is not speaking to me as like talking to me like I was your friend. Like, what's up? How are you today? No, it's, hello, my name is Bethany Ferrall and I am a secondary education manager. You still are going to give that exact same elevator pitch that you would have given to them in person, but you're just going to be typing it, which I know is a little different and it's going to feel a little awkward, but it gives you the opportunity, it still gives you the opportunity to meet them where we can meet them in person, meet them in communication. So just make sure that you talk to them as if they were, as if you were talking to them in person. I would also say, and I know this sounds crazy, but I would also say, get up, take a shower, brush your teeth. You don't have to put on your full on like suited up suit, but like feel good about yourself. Do something, get up, eat breakfast, be ready for this fair, prepare for this fair just like you would have prepared for an in-person fair, because if you don't, you're going to feel sloppy and you're not going to feel your best and you're not going to be able to put your best foot forward. I'm not saying you have to sit at home in your suit jacket by any means, but definitely make sure. But if you want to, go for it. Send me a screenshot. I would love to see that. That'd be awesome. And just make sure that you put your best foot forward and that you use professional communication, and that and don't forget to add your resume to your profile, because that's something we definitely want to share with those employers after the fact. And follow up. If a recruiter tells you, hey, I've loved chatting with you, can you email me your resume? They're not just saying that. They want you to email them your resume. If they give you a link to a job posting saying, hey, could you please apply to this position? They want you to apply to that position. So don't feel like they're just blowing you off. They are asking you to apply because you probably have to apply to even move into the next phase. So I think those are my biggest things.
Yep, perfect. Any other last minute questions?
What's the best way to like start that conversation? Like basically what you were just saying, Bethany, what you would say to those recruiters, but like how would you like start that off? Even if you don't see they have a job listing for something that like specific to you, like how would you still start that conversation with the district you're interested in?
Yeah, that's a great question. So, and it's just like if you were, imagine when you're in that private chat, it is just like when you're walking up to their booth, you're sticking your hand out in the form of, hi, my name is Megan. You're just doing that via chat. So just the first thing that you would say to them if you were going to see them in person, that's going to be your first line of the chat message. So you could say, hi, my name is Megan Self. I'm a senior. I'm graduating. I am hoping to teach in insert area that you want to teach in.
Special ed.
I am looking for a special education teaching opportunity. I like your district because I noticed your mission is XYZ, which you've just seen because you looked on their booth where they have that information. And then they will say, thank you so much for stopping by. We have special education positions open here. And then they'll have some questions ready too. They'll say, what is, tell me what your education style is. I apparently can't come up with a good question at this very moment, but they will come back with a question, and you will just chat with them like you would chat with them in person. It may only be a couple of minutes, and then they will give you some follow-up instructions usually, and go from there. And if there, for any reason you get there and all their recruiters are talking to somebody else, you can submit your application to one of their jobs, or as long as you've visited that booth, they will get a notification that you have visited that booth, and they may then reach out to you and send you a private chat. I also want you guys to be prepared for, you may be roaming around and all of a sudden, ding, hi Megan, hi Carly, and then a recruiter can see you in the visitors and send you a message directly. So I want you to be prepared for that they may come to you. So just keep that in mind. And the career development booth, we will be there and be logged in. So if you were nervous or having questions, we will be there to chat with you just like we would have if we were standing outside at the career fair. And we will be there to ask those questions. And we can give that same access to your teachers, your professors in those classes if they would like that. So they can be there to be like, go get them. You can do this. Go Lions, you know, whatever you need.
Warren, you were wondering, are there any other job fairs in the queue yet? So virtual fair wise, there is this one on the 25th, our all majors fair, which will include other school districts. That will be on April 16th. And then virtual fair, we have, it's set for summer, Bethany?
Yes, I think it's August 5th.
Yes.
I wouldn't bet all my life savings on that date, but it's the first week of August.
Yes.
Yes.
And then our fall all majors fair on campus, so that will be in person, will be on September 30th, right?
Yes.
Yes. Perfect. And Jordan wanted to know, hopefully, Warren, did that answer your question? Jordan wanted to know, with this type of micro interview, will the recruiters want to hear our personal background or just discuss our educational background, philosophy, skills, etc.? I would say start there with your educational background, your kind of philosophy about being a teacher, your skill set. They may have, you know, as you do at a fair, you may get into different questions. You might say, you know, I'm really interested in this district because I actually was a student here. And you might start talking about that a little bit more, but I would start really with your professional kind of interest, background, skill sets. And then if the conversation goes to be a little bit more on your personal interest or background, then it will.
Got about 5 minutes. If anybody else has any questions, this is your moment. So we really appreciate y'all logging on, and thank you, Tish, for taking the time out of your day to do a little demo for us. I can't unmute you, so if you're saying something, I'm sorry.
No problem at all. I'm happy to assist you all. And again, if you have any last minute questions, feel free to ask.
Okay. Well, we will hang around for a few minutes, but if you've got all your questions answered, you are free to go. And thank you for logging in. I'm really excited we had such a good turnout today. And we will see you guys next Wednesday.
I'm so glad that you all thought it was helpful. If you do have any questions, again, feel free to email myself or Bethany too, and we're happy to direct you to any answers that you might need.